The BBFC have rated John Wick Chapter 4, and very unsurprisingly, it is a 15 for strong violence language. Based off what the BBFC are saying about it in the long ratings info and everything, it does actually seem to be the least violent John Wick yet, actually, which is interesting. So we'll read this little plot synopsis thing that the BBFC are doing now first, before we get into the long ratings info. A former assassin must challenge a new enemy to a duel in order to free himself from the criminal underworld in this action thriller sequel, which continues the franchise's well-known stylized action set pieces. So there's nothing in there about the content, as in like it doesn't talk about how strong the violence or language is or whatever. Like they frequently do with these description things. So it just says it continues the franchise's well-known stylized action set pieces is the most they say in terms of that, which is interesting. So yeah, now let's get into the long ratings info. So violence is 4 out of 5, threat and horror is 3 out of 5, language is 4 out of 5, and injury detail is 3 out of 5, and everything else is 0 out of 5. So not very surprising there, honestly. But you know, obviously the violence and the language are both 4 out of 5 because those are the things that are included in the BBFC the short ratings info. So now in the long ratings info, for violence, scenes of violence include prolonged shootouts, which often incorporate the use of hand-to-hand combat, bladed weapons, improvised weapons, and people being hit by vehicles. Scenes include occasional blood spurts, primarily from gunshots to the head. A man is stabbed through the hand and frees himself by pulling his extremity free rather than removing the blade. So that really doesn't sound that bad, by John Wick standards, I guess. Which, I mean, John Wick isn't like an extremely violent franchise, but this does still sound like the least violent one, which is interesting. And the most they say in terms of blood is just occasional blood spurts, which is interesting. And obviously, there's nothing in the short ratings info about like blood or injury detail being included. So yeah, there doesn't seem to be any 15 worthy injury detail in the film or blood or anything, which is interesting. And language is the only other thing included in the short BBFC insights. That's just the language there. But for injury detail, it does say people are occasionally seen clutching wounds or with blood-stained clothes following scenes of violence. In one sequence, 2 people brand themselves as part of a ritual. So yeah, that's kind of it, honestly, for the violent stuff in John Wick Chapter 4. And I was thinking, because I remember the Ireland, the Ireland rating for this on the IFCO website. It's 16, unsurprisingly, but they did say in their little description thing that it has a strong violence, and they didn't say anything about blood in there. So I was thinking, I wonder if the BBFC are gonna have like a strong bloody violence or just strong violence, and it turns out it's just strong violence language, which is interesting. So yeah, that's John Wick Chapter 4, rated by the BBFC. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to. And until next time, bye bye.